Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Grot's Gone Wild Grand Tournament held in Welland, Ontario, Canada. A couple weekends back, 2 weekends ago, and excited to bring you guys the round 2 coverage tonight with my buddy Ridge. Ridge, how you doing?
Not too bad, brah. How's Wednesday night for you so far?
It's going well. I lied during our last stream and said Carl was joining me tonight. Even though we had already pre-scheduled everything, I just misremembered. So happy to have you again tonight, Ridge.
Yeah, I'm more of a early week kind of guy, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, for me, you know, I am a night owl, so tonight we're streaming at 9 o'clock local time for us. Excited to for everyone to be joining us from wherever you are, whatever time of the world it is over there. Obviously, probably our most of our European friends are asleep, but maybe some of the Australians are getting up in the morning and joining us, so wherever you are around the world, happy to have you.
Yeah, guten tag, bonjour, all that good stuff.
Nice. Want to give a couple of quick shout outs here, just as we're getting into things. Obviously, the players actually are, when we're jumping into this video, have completed deployment. But big thing, obviously, the Grot Gang Wild GT was TO'd and organized by our buddy Josh Aiken, so I want to give a big shout out to Josh for running a fantastic event, being an amazing TO and doing exactly what needs to be done throughout the tournament, which is super appreciated. So big thanks to Josh. TOs are amazing, so thank you all, everyone who runs events. Also want to give a big thank you to the Mini Wargaming Bunker, well, Mini Wargaming as a whole, who not only, were we using the venue to run this event, or Josh was, but they allowed us to access to one of their private rooms for filming these games this week, or at the GT. So was very grateful for Josh's help, and that's Mini Wargaming Josh's help in allowing us, or facilitating this and helping to make it all run smoothly. So big shout out to Josh, both Joshes, you guys are the best, and super grateful that we were able to do all this.
Yeah, big time. Always, TOs are rare around your community, so yeah, definitely big props and respect the TOs.
It's always. And we, as we talked about the other day, and actually in the list preview show we did a couple weeks back, if you want to see more of some of the weird lists that were at this event, a lot of off-meta stuff. As we're seeing in this match tonight, you don't often see, Gloomspite Gitz on the table, especially piloted tonight by last year's top destruction player in the ITC rankings. So Noah, who is joining us in the chat tonight also. This is, the not arguably, but actually the highest ranked destruction player last year, playing the probably, least powerful destruction army, as people typically think, at least.
Yeah, he's a Gitz boy through and through, so he's happier than a pig in shit playing this. I know Noah loved to play the Squigs in AOS 2, and he definitely kicked my ass with them one time, so it's, he's a master of the destruction forces, that's for sure.
Yeah, most recently playing a ton of Iron Jaws, though. Not the Gitz as much, but, he's been terrorizing tables across America with his Iron Jaws, double Maw Crusher, cabbages, and a variety of lists. I know he's constantly tweaking and changing things up.
Yep.
But yeah, super excited to get that. We are jumping right into things real quick. Here, Anthony did outdrop, being a 1-drop here. Noah was a ton of drops, so Anthony has given first turn away, and we're again already into the action. And Noah started off with choosing his first battle tactic of Ferocious Advance, failing Heroic Leadership, but generating an extra CP from his Fungoid, so right into the action tonight. Just while we are going through the hero phase here, actually, let's jump into looking at Noah's list. If you want to give it a quick once-over, Ridge.
Yeah, big time. So he's running a just wild Gloomspite list here. So he's running the Dank Hold Trog Boss. He's got the dodgy character trait, so it's just so awesome. It's anything that targets him has to have to reroll hits against him. So just a cool, and then the Arcane Tome as well. And he's took Ghost Mist, which is a huge baller pick, like Ghost Mist on a giant Trog Boss. So yeah, Noah loves doing stuff like that. And then he's got a Madcap Shaman and a Fungoid Cave Shaman. And then for Battleline, he's got 2 units of 20 Shooters, a 6-pack of Rockgut Troggoths, and a 9-pack of Rockgut Troggoth. So yeah, hammering with the Troggoths. And then a Marshcaller Sloggoth, 2 5s of Loon Smash of Fanatics, and Rippus Snarlfang, and can't forget one of the best on the spells ever, Scuttletide.
Yes. And so we are in the hero phase right now, and we've just seen the Fundoid Crave Shaman cast Hand of Dork, so Noah's just deciding where he wants to put a unit of Shootas that he's teleporting. We'll see where they end up, but yeah, a great, obviously, that, great spell, having access to a teleport is always huge in any army.
Oh, big time, yeah.
It looks like he's just going to be hiding those Shootas behind some rocks, though. Nothing too aggressive quite yet.
Yeah, they might be scared of other stuff countercharging them.
Yeah. Otherwise, though, we did see the Trog boss cast Mystic Shield on the unit of 9 trolls. Those 9 trolls, and actually the 6 trolls as well, are all in the Loon Shrine right now, so that's why you don't see them on the table. A lot of trolls, currently all hiding, but the neat thing with Noah's list as well, actually, the general trait, Dodgy Character, as you mentioned, rerolling hits against that hero, only able to do that because of the Arcane Tome making him a wizard, as that trait does have to go on a wizard. I talked to Noah a little bit about that list. It's just neat tech like that. Whenever you see those cool interactions unlocking, different abilities and whatnot.
Yeah, there's so many little things like that. Like even the Marshcaller Sloggoth, like who brings the Cruel's Boys character in there just for the 18-inch +1 to hit bubble?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and the Troggoths in the Garrison, like, yeah, there's so many, He's probably played this list quite a bit, but it's definitely fun.
And so we are into the movement phase. Last thing we saw in the hero phase was actually the Madcap Shaman miscasting Scuttletide, so that amazing on the spell you mentioned, and taking 1 mortal wound. So the first blood has already been drawn, and it was by the Gitz onto the Gitz. Probably not too surprising there. I guess they're not Skaven, but not far off.
No, they'd probably do like 6 mortal wounds to themselves if they were Skaven, not 1.
That's
like a
true.
bunch of cowardly grots.
Very true. And we are seeing, actually, it looks like we're pulling out the first, or Noah's pulling out the first unit of Troggoths from the shrine. So getting those guys out and on the board. So besides the teleport and Rippus Snarlfangs, it's not a fast army.
No, that's what the teleport is so huge for. So in this matchup, not having many casters on the other side, I think Anthony's one. The Relictor has the Arcane Tome, so he does have, I think, the 1 Unbind if he's in range, but against armies that can't teleport, being able to use that teleport spell is huge.
And just to recap, actually, we've actually ended turn 1 there already, and we are into Stormcast turn 1. So again, playing pretty defensive, not going, obviously with his teleport, keeping stuff behind the rocks. Looks like even those rock guts are behind the rocks, potentially blocking line of sight from something like, obviously, the Stormcast launch strikes. Trying to keep things safe, it looks like. But we are into Stormcast turn 1 now, and Anthony has gone for a Ferocious Advance, so pretty easy battle tactic while you have, you're not getting into the action quite yet, so easy to run through units.
Yeah, I'll run through Anthony's list too, because I don't think we did. So so he's running a Stormcast Eternals list. Hallowed Knights, Signs of the Storm. So for his heroes, he's got Guard of Steel Soul, and then he's got the good old Lord Relictor with High Priest and Translocation. And then he has the Arcane Tome on him with Celestial Blades. So pretty common what you see with one of the loadouts for the Relictor. And then he went for some more Vindictors. Now I'm not sure if he might only have those models and not have full 4 Fulminators or anything like that. But so he's running 5 Vindictors, 10 Vindictors, 10 Vindictors, 6 Raptors, 2 Fulminators, and 2 Stormdrake Guard. All wrapped up in the 1 drop.
Yeah. And go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, just saying a lot of the staples that we normally see in Stormcast. But as you say, I know Anthony is. I don't know if he's a bit of a newer player overall to the tournament scene. So been getting into it at the tail end of last year. And a great guy. Obviously, we've been seeing him in the Grot Gang group at a ton of events the past few months. So it's been awesome to see the community growing. And Anthony has been playing Stormcast for a bit, but like you said, adding new units here and as he's going, and kind of taking the Dominion style starter boxes and adding some of the scary unit scarier units from Stormcast to it.
Yeah, for sure. And I gotta mention this, like Anthony, so he's a Niagara boy, so I went to university there. So after the one tournament, we were having a few beers and chatting about that. And it turns out one of his best buddies is actually my barber.
Nice.
So, yeah, and random enough, I went for a haircut today. So shout out to Antonio, Anthony's buddy and my barber, and also friend. So we were chatting about him being on stream tonight, which is funny. But like you said, he's a bit newer of a player, but you know, loves the game and playing an army that once you get reps in with this army too, and start to, you know, figure out some different tweaks to your list, I'm sure, yeah, it'll be right up there.
Yeah. The two biggest things I always say with getting into competitive play are first and foremost knowing your army, and then next one is learning, you know, all the armies that you might face, and probably hasn't faced Gloomspite Gitz too often. Just them being, you know, largely out of the meta, not played very often. I don't think we've seen, you know, any Gloomspite players, you know, in the Southern Ontario area where we play last couple months. So
no, not really. You're right, and it is one of those tricks that they have a lot of tricks with the fanatics and a lot of different ways that you can interact with your opponent. And you're right, you don't really play them much, so you kind of get caught sometimes. You know, certain tricks or certain things that happen, and you're like, oh yeah, I haven't played that. Like shit, I didn't realize. Like, you know, they could tell you before the game, but still, it's so easy to forget things.
And just in the hero phase of Stormcast, still we have seen the dragons do the Draconic Onslaught hero phase move that they're allowed to do once per game. So just moving up the board a little bit, getting onto the objectives, freeing up space too, and we saw the Long Strikes translocate, and then the Lord of Relictor also went for a Mystic Shield, but did not get the cast off. So looks like we're just setting up now for a little Thunderbolt volley, and it'd be interesting to see what those Long Strikes are able to shoot at. Wondering, you know, hard to tell from the top down if those rocks are blocking line of sight to everything behind it.
Yeah, it looks like it from here. And I know those pieces of terrain, but I'm sure he positioned them in a way that he's gonna shoot, you know, what he wants to shoot here. But Thunderbolt volley, everyone's favorite favorite thing in AOS 3.
I mean, it's you know, it's no Marathian the Bow Snake's doing it every turn, but obviously still very strong. Often able to leverage that to, like, you know, double shoot an opponent's big threat, take something out. You know, you can use that, and in combination with something like dragons to take down, you know, a Guardian in one turn. So definitely a very strong tool for the Stormcast, especially in conjunction with the hero phase teleport.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
And the 2-up rerollable, almost guaranteed hero phase teleport.
Why not?
Exactly. Consider, you know, contrast that with something like Daughters of Cain, where they can't leverage it quite so early, but they do have it, you know, every turn that Marathi's alive.
Yeah, and daughters can use it with, you know, the Shadow Queen attacking in the hero phase. There's so many cool interactions with that. Sorry.
And it does look like Anthony did end up targeting the Trod boss at the back of the board, so only 6 damage to the Trod boss. I know the normal Trods have a 5-up ward save. I'm not sure. Again, actually, you know what? That rerolling all successful hits probably had a factor in that. So that's a big one. Trod boss not going down too fast, but obviously that's only the first round of shooting.
Yeah, just with the hero phase. Yeah, that it's such a cool ability. You don't see Gloomspite has so many cool little abilities like that, like making you reroll their hits. I know the one Madcap has the trait that it has -1 save within 12 inches. Like, that's so good. But it's, you know, within 12, but still, you know, if you get alpha'd or anything, like, yeah, a lot of cool little things that the Gits have. Just not the right keywords.
Exactly. I was about to say that a lot of their they don't synergize really well because a lot of stuff is keyword locked. So hopefully we'll see, you know, a little more flexibility with that army in the future if they ever, you know, or next time they get some updates. But very cool and flavorful army that obviously you'd love to see more on the table.
Yeah, I wish we were in England and we could play Nathan Prescott and see, you know, him play the old Gits. It's always just hilarious hearing him talk about him.
For sure. An army that is definitely loved by a lot of people, so you always like, especially when we see armies like Beast of Chaos getting a great update, always great to see, you know, the people who love those armies get to pull them out again and not only like see success, but just to be able to have fun, right? It's tough sometimes with armies that have been bad for a very long time to really, you know, get excited about playing it. So great to see, you know, armies like that get some updates and, you know, see more of those armies on the table now. RIP Khorne, who unfortunately did not get a similar update.
No, that was absolutely horrendous. I can't believe what they did to what should be one of Age of Sigmar's favorite factions.
Yeah,
you know, in one of the starters with Stormcast. It's just crazy how much they screw the Khorne over. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, always been a, you know, a very consistent, like, you know, poster child army, so to speak. Like you said, like them and Stormcast have for sure been staples. A lot of Age of Sigmar started with, you know, with stories around the Blades of Khorne and whatnot. So disappointing to see, especially I was hoping for some sweet updates. I've been actually having some fun with Khorne recently. And at this event, we did see Roger Barker have some success with Khorne as well, with a Blood Crusher, you know, spammy list. But not spammy, there were, well, 5 units, but a bunch of other stuff in that list as well. So
I think like most of the rest of the stuff in this event, though, that was a bit more towards the player playing the army, not the army itself.
Yep, but you know, that's always the case. Not always the case, but you can see, you know, players who know an army really well and can find the strengths in it, and, you know, take it to, you know, 3-2, 4-1 more consistently, sorry, and you never know, always able to, you know, pull out some exciting results at times, but
yep,
harder to do obviously with those less than powerful books. But we are in the shooting phase, and as we just saw, the Long Strikes did go and finish off the Trog boss using all-out attack, and while he did try an all-out defense, it was not enough to keep him alive, and we saw the Trog boss go by, say goodbye, and he's gone. So that's actually big because that was Noah's general, so that's going to be limiting his CP generation throughout the game. Obviously, with the Fundoid, he does have, you know, some other ways to generate CP, and potentially from the moon as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that could hurt. And
yeah, for sure. It's almost just like what else do you target here? That's, you know, if you couldn't see the things behind the rock, like, we can't completely tell, but that seems just like the best target to go for.
I don't know, like, so this is, we obviously know Noah's got 2 units of shooters, and Fanatics are going to be in those units. You were able to take out one of those units of shooters, it could potentially, or it would, you know, kill also a unit of Fanatics, right?
Yeah, if he was able to kill those, yeah. But again, that's something that, you know, Anthony, I even one of us playing, I think you don't think about that when you're kind of in there. Not playing Gitz very often. I feel like that's something, if you're a Gitz player or something like that, you would remember that. But yeah, we got to give a big shout out to this beautiful Tough Crowd jersey, repped by the long-haired Noah here. Just a great hockey jersey and a great club.
And looks like, okay, so we are into round 2. Anthony scored 4 points on his turn as well with hold 1, hold 2. No one's getting hold more. The Stormdrakes, interestingly, not charging into the Snarlfangs, and only doing 1 mortal wound in shooting, so very interesting here. And yeah, excited to see, obviously, into Gloomspite turn 2. Feels like the action obviously is just heating up. We've only seen the Trog boss go down. Lots still to go in this game. And we are just seeing, actually, it looks like the Madcap just cast Scuttle Tide, so we're going to see that come out. Again, you were saying it earlier, a great spell in Gloomspite. They have a few interesting in the spells.
Oh, it's better than great. It's unbelievable. It was so good in AOS 2. It's you know, it's a little expensive. I think it's 85 points. But for what it does against certain armies that can't fly, or, you know what I mean, just the mortal wounds.
Don't have the movement, yeah.
Yeah, or it can spike. Like, it's just such a fantastic spell.
And looks like he's targeting the Long Strikes with it, so great way to chip them down. And looks like, yeah, he does do 2 mortal wounds and take out a Long Strike. So already, you know, just that's a unit that doesn't have a lot of wounds, So if you can chip it down, it's one of the best ways to deal with it.
Yeah, that's one of what we always chat about with the long strikes versus judicators. You know, the range, 6 more inches of range is great, but only having 12 wounds on a 4-up save compared to 30 is such a huge difference. So
there's something,
they have their place, but
for sure. If there's something though, yeah, like you said, with less wounds, that if there's something that can chip them down, you know, Seraphon, other shooting, they're not the most resilient. So
yeah. Now Noah has picked up some of his Gitz, so I think he must have got the teleport off.
Yeah, so he's got the Hand of Grot off again this turn. So teleporting that unit of Shudas. Yeah, we got some little goblins being aggressive here.
Yeah.
And we also did see the Madcap actually get a Mystic Shield off on those 6 trolls. So I'm not sure that they'll be getting into combat. Again, they're not the fastest, but...
Yeah, the trolls, they're great, man. The Rock Guts, just having the 5-up ward as well, like a 6 and a 9, being able to regen them, like... Yeah, it's obviously just kind of a slow, sloggy combat army, but I don't know.
A solid tanky war scroll for the points, right? I think it's only 130 points for 3 of the Rock Guts. So that's solid for the amount of, their stat lines and the amount of, wounds and potential output that they have. Especially, like you say, with the ward, makes them pretty resilient.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. I don't know if anyone can hear the sirens in the background, but I live in the mean streets of Hamilton downtown, so don't mind that.
Yeah, we can't hear them, so no harm done. Yeah, so it looks like we are into the movement phase now. Obviously spreading out with the other Judas. And what do you think those Judas, like the output of those Judas isn't anything to write home about. Obviously, the goblins aren't known for their goblins themselves at least aren't known for their high damage or accuracy. Yeah.
You mean the teleported ones?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, we'll take a wild guess where those fanatics are going to be.
I know. Obviously, we'll see. It looks like some of the tricks throughout this game. Obviously, as we said earlier, there is a unit of fanatics hiding in each of those shooters unit, which they pop out at the beginning of the charge phase. It's a great ability because it can be used both offensively and defensively. Yeah,
they're so great for denying battle tactics, for making charges easier. They can actually slap in combat too. They're a great little unit for sure.
If you have joined us late, like Dominic in the chat, you can actually find the lists linked below in the video description. I am just going to go double check that they are in the video description. They are not, so I'll link those real quick, but you can find them on Twitter. We always post the links up on Twitter, so you can generally go find them there. But we'll just get that link posted up in the video description momentarily. It's there now. You might have to refresh the page, but you can go find the lists through that link. And yeah, see what our players are playing. Obviously, Stormcast, everything's on the board, so it's a little bit easier to see what's what they've got in the army, but there's still 3 units off the board for the Gitz, so they're remaining a little sneaky.
Yeah, we didn't mention either, so when that Scuttletide moved at the end of the hero too, just such a nuisance blocking up in front of the Vindictors there, and oh man, it's just so good in certain situations.
Unfortunately though, it looks like the Ripless Snarlfangs ending their move right next to it did take another mortal wound and lost one of their models, so...
Yeah, well, it probably not the end of the world for what it seems is coming up here.
Yeah, it does look like they are playing pretty aggressively. Noah's actually chucking them in. So, I'd a guess see them eat and unleash hell, probably, if we do see the fanatics come out and try and make a charge.
For sure, and then they're going to have to take some... Well, I think it's if you end within 6 of a charge as well, you have to take the mortals too, or the roll. So cool, Scuttletide. I know Vermintide. There's another. It's cool one in Skaven that's similar to that, but not as good as the Scuttletide because you can just pop it out anywhere, any within 6 of a terrain piece. It's just nuts.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's unlimited range in a way. We are seeing now those, as we, guessed, the Fanatics coming out from that unit.
Yeah.
This is, again, you can, with the teleport, you're coming down outside of 9. This lets the unit come out of the shooter unit wholly within 3. Just have to be outside of 3 of enemies. So that gives them effectively a 6-inch charge from a teleport rather than the 9, which is just an, the little tech like that is still, an example of some of the tricks that Gloomspite does have. Obviously, a lot of, there are some other deficiencies in the army, but neat little tricks and tech in there too.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a lot of small things that if you play the army a lot and you kind of build on the little synergies, which we know that's what Noah does. He loves armies like that. So when things like this happen, it's just it's cool to see. Yeah.
Always amazing to see like armies played by people who really know them super well and have played them a ton, because they just find those little synergies that until you get to that level you don't think about or you don't find. So always fun to see stuff like that.
Yeah, and especially with the synergy armies. Like I'm a huge synergy guy. I love armies that can buff this unit, and then you can give them 3d6 charge, you can give them this and blah blah. Like
I think we are all well aware of your Stink Chiefs with their serpent staffs buffing the salamanders and whatnot, as Cass loves to recite in our narration. But we did actually, much to I guess countering what I said earlier, the shooters actually did do 2 damage to the fulminators. So gotta give those little guys credit that for whatever 100 points they cost, they did 2 damage to a pretty strong unit.
Yeah, you can always squeak through. Everyone can roll 1s and 2s.
Yep, very true.
And looks like the dogs clearly went in as intended. You can definitely see to soak the Unleash Hell there.
Yep, those Rip a Snarl fangs, getting eaten alive in Unleash Hell, but
which is such a cheeky, just such a good play here, because now these Fanatics made their charge as well, and it's like I said earlier, these things can do some work.
Yep, sure. And it does look like Noah is activating, obviously, those guys first. They fight at the start of the combat phase. So that is one great thing about using them defensively as well. If your opponent comes in, so long as they're not attacking at the start of the phase also, lets them strike first. They're not, they're obviously a super squishy unit, 1 wound each, and a 6-up save, so go down very fast, but the fight first gives them that opportunity to get those big hits in, because they can, hit pretty hard if given the chance.
Oh, for sure. They're just glass, right? But exactly like you said, they're usually going to be hitting you first, so get in there, smash something, and then die, and who cares?
And so we did see all-out attack go off from them use all-out attack, as well as the long strikes going for an all-out defense. So looks like, I think 4 of them are going to be going into the long strikes, with 1 that has to go into the fulminators.
Yeah, that is not good for everyone's favorite unit, the Raptors.
They definitely don't want to be taking a hit.
To be said too, both of these maniacs are using every single color of die you could think of from every type of dice manufacturer.
I know.
You can't see Anthony's off the side, but I saw earlier in his tray.
I could not do it. My OCD, Ridge, when you put I have to organize my dice. Oh yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't survive. It would be hard enough for me to play against it, but I would die. And the Fanatics have, it looks like, got a bunch of hits through, rolling some ward saves. Obviously, Gardas is in there, so giving a 5-up ward. I think we've seen 9 damage coming through on those launch strikes. There's only 10 wounds left in the unit.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're gonna have 1 launch strike alive on 1 wound here.
Oh, rally 3 back.
Yeah. We want to give a big shout out to Mr. Zilardi, who just joined our premium team. Thank you so much for the support. I always want to give a big shout out to our premium members. A ton of you guys in chat, so thank you for joining us tonight. That is the best way to support the channel. The only reason we're able to produce content like this is thanks to our premium members. So if you want to help support the channel, we'd super appreciate it. And you can get access to more content, our private Discord, and a bunch of other stuff by hitting the join button. this video. But looks like the Fulminators are about to strike back. I'm going to guess we're going to see all of those guys quickly go down. Yep. Those,
they are definitely toast.
Yeah, just lifting them. Obviously, Ren 2, 5 attacks to each on the rider. Still only 1 damage, but there's only 5 wounds in that unit. So, not to mention the mount attacks that we still have in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're long toast.
And yeah, very obviously we saw the tricks coming out from Gloomspite, or some of the tricks early, with the teleport into Fanatic deploy, Ripper Snarlfangs doing their job, soaking in on the Unleash Hell, freeing up the Fanatics to get in there. So combination of tech and abilities coming together to make that play possible.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. It's just little tricks like that. Teleport. It reminds me of Skaven, and that's immediately what I think of is like skitter leaping my Grey Seer, 3d6 casting Warp Lightning Vortex, and then popping back through my Gnawhole and coming back there. Oh. Like when you can make those plays happen. I know with Sylvaneth too, they have some cool stuff like that, and it's like when everything happens in succession, it feels so good. But you're in an event and you do that, then you fail the teleport, and it's like, oh, okay, well, or you fail the spell. It's like, damn.
You run into a tech list and he just says no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So looks like we have finished up Gloomspite turn 2 with Noah storing hold 1 and hold 2, but failing his battle tactic. So Noah had gone for Conquer on, it looks like that top right objective. I think he tried to charge in the shooters in behind. Didn't get them into combat though, or didn't get them in or on the objective. So failing his battle tactic. So that does hurt with him only scoring 2 points this round.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure if he thought was hoping on the charge or what there, but
yeah, it sounds like, or it looks like there, from the board state, there probably weren't many other options. I don't think going for the launch strikes, broken ranks wasn't an option. You're not going to bring it down on the dragons with fanatics.
Yeah, aggressive expansion is out too because it's the whole board, right? Your whole half.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's
okay. Noah's got great luscious hair, so we'll forgive him.
Yeah, but that is a huge point. Like, obviously, storing is the name of the game, so big opportunity here for Stormcast if they're able to take a big points lead.
Yeah, definitely.
And looks like Anthony has chosen to also go for Conquer. Looks like on that bottom right objective, which is completely barren, so just inviting some dragons to come down over there. We've seen Gardas fail heroic leadership, and the Lord Relictor has Celestial Blades, but it is unbound. So that's big. Obviously, +1 to wound in combat is an amazing spell on either the Fulminators or Stormdrake. But not getting those buffs off in this one.
Yeah, not the end of the world here. Just looking at the board, like what, I guess, yeah, like what are you putting it on? There's nothing really big to charge here, right? His 9 trogs are still in the garrison. The 6 of them are kind of on the left side there. So if the Vindictors, I guess, can get in there, but yeah, only having the 1 Raptor is, I don't know. Well, it'll be curious to see what he does here.
Gardas did fail heroic leadership while the Madcap succeeded at it, so clearly the Madcap little Grot is more heroic than Gardas, which is saying something. But we haven't seen a rally on the launch strikes. I'm not sure if just not getting that CP off, Anthony's maybe a little CP hungry.
Yeah, what has he got? So he's got 2, right?
But obviously a ton of output from the Fulminators. The Stormdrakes are awesome as well. Be interesting here to see a Scuttletide, like you said, is going to be so annoying.
Yeah, no, he's moving it and probably going to finish
phase.
that. Yeah, finish that long strike. There's 2, so.
Yep, seeing that long strike. So Lana's okay. Yep, he's gone. We had some Gardas saves potentially live, but not doing the job.
Oh, Gardas was in there too. That's right. I didn't forget about that 5-up ward.
Big.
Well, it lets his Vindictors move. I don't know. Was Noah just being nice there, or was he just wanted to finish off that long trek? I guess so you can't rally anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know, man. He's a good guy. Maybe he was just letting him move the Vindictors.
Well, if moving the Vindictors though, they're going to trigger it again, right? So.
Yeah, that is also a good shout. And he's probably saying, "Come closer to my 9 trogs."
Yes, inviting them forward. Shout out to Sarah. Hedgestrom, for joining premium membership again. And appreciate the support, guys. Hope you're enjoying the content and the semi-live coverage, live commentary from the Grots Gone Wild GT. And we are seeing the Grots go wild in this game tonight, so very on brand.
I didn't even think about that. Yep. Nice.
Perfect.
I will accept that.
Josh, RTO, did choose to have this, showcase this match, to have it recorded, so must have been just for the branding of the event.
Yeah, of the Grots. Makes sense.
And obviously, quick hero phase for Stormcast. Not much doing, prayer, one spell, and into movement. We're seeing those big Vindictor units starting to march up the board. And actually, when those, we didn't even mention it, the Vindictors finished their move in the middle with Scuttletide taking 4 mortal wounds. So that's 2 Vindictors dead. That's huge.
Ooh, he rolled, he must have rolled 4 6s of 6 dice and then not rolled any 5-ups?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's rough. Not what Stormcast wants to see.
Yeah, Gitz OP.
Yeah. I mean, we have seen them take out a GT recently, or a couple months or a month or so ago, down in by Texas. Boy, I don't know if the event was in Texas, but Gavin down in Texas won with a Ragnos Gloomspite list.
Yeah, that was the Lone Star. I was in Texas yet.
Gloomspite making a resurgence in the meta by chance.
I don't think so, but
although it looks like Josh RTO is in the chat as well tonight. Doesn't know why he chose this matchup, but always excited to see new armies like the Gitz. We have a Gitz army in the studio now, but we've only actually pulled it out once. We'll have to get it on the board more. And thank you to Philip actually correcting us. Ridge, it is a 4-up for the mortal wounds with Scuttletide. So, on average, it's doing 3 mortal wounds with 6 dice.
Oh shit, I thought it was 6s or mortal wounds. It's 4s or mortal wounds?
No. 5 plus.
No.
5 plus. Okay, so
5, there you go.
Yeah,
okay.
Right in the middle. Noah, thank you for confirming.
Yeah, so 4 5-ups is still, that's 2 over average, but then not making any 5-up boards with Gardas as well. Hurts.
Looks like those Fulminators, obviously avoiding Scuttletide and taking the damage. They don't want to take any mortal wounds, but not going for the shooters yet. Just trying to get up the board, push towards the opponent's objectives, but they still be in range to shoot at the shooters. I mean, they're not really again, the shooters aren't a big threat. So maybe he's just thinking,
Just them being there is just, that's going to come take your point.
Yeah, but if he did send the Fulminators to go kill them, basically takes them out of the rest of the game.
For sure. Yes, and that's the amazing part of teleporting something in a back corner.
Yeah. And like the Fulminators, if they go back there, they're not impacting the rest of the game, and I think Anthony needs and wants them to play a bigger role in potentially, making more of Noah's objectives.
Yeah.
One of the Storm Drakes apparently didn't cooperate and has been pulled off of his base, so a floating base and a dragon over there, but we can use our imaginations. It is Age of Call.
Yeah, they're annoying. I saw LVO, I ran 2 of them with my Sally Draco list, and it's just annoying moving them in. But then when you take them off, you always miss the breath attack. So you just got to struggle. You just got to keep them on there.
Well, that's the thing. So we just finished shooting. The dragons dealt no damage, so failing their breath attacks. Well, the fulminators did actually do 3 mortal wounds to the Shudas, so we saw 3 goblins go down. Obviously 17 still left in that unit, but...
A little bit of battle shock, but they don't care with 20 of them.
Yeah. I don't think they're not on the board, for any significant output or anything.
No. They are the best Grots in the world. They have fully done their job this game already by just being the delivery system for those fanatics to rinse those long strikes.
We are rolling priority, or it looks like we rolled priority on the side. No, so we have rolled priority, I believe, with Noah rolling a 1 and Anthony rolling a 5. And Anthony, it looks like he's just deciding what to do with the decision here. He's in a position now where he can leverage his units and get into combat, but isn't in a position where Noah's not really doing a ton with his turn. So interesting decision here.
Yeah, these are ones that playing a lot of Age of Sigmar and playing the game a lot make you kind of getting better at these kind of decisions, when to give away the turn, when to take it, when you're in a good spot for certain things. I found, at least for me, it took, once you start playing more and getting a lot of reps in and playing, that's something that you get a lot better at, is visualizing the game turn 3, 4, 5 kind of thing. And
noteworthy, this is going into round 3, so one of the objectives will get burned by whoever's going second in this coming round. So another factor to consider in this decision. So
yeah, is this Feral Forray, right?
It is Feral Forray, yeah. So we can actually
burn within 1, yeah.
Yeah, pull up the mission here. So territories go fully up to half, which makes, like you said earlier, aggressive expansion super hard. But Savage Spearhead is an easier battle tactic. Normal, hold 1, hold 2, hold more. And from the second battle round on, yeah, you can burn one of your opponent's objectives if you're within an inch of the center of it, for an extra victory point. Yep. And obviously it removes the objective from potential storing. So it's the kind of thing you don't want to burn if you think you can hold the objective for longer in the game, but you might want to burn it if there's a good chance your opponent's going to take it back.
For sure. Yeah, this one is literally just always in packs, because it's like, if you have a stupid castle army that moves, or Gargants, or I shouldn't say stupid, but if you have an army, it makes you think to put in things that can actually go and get objectives. And it's one of the few 6 objective missions. So
always good to challenge armies in different ways in the mission pack. And it looks like Anthony has chosen to take turn 3, and Noah now burning Anthony's center objective. So again, going to remove the storing potential there. But I don't, Anthony's already got 3 objectives here, so he starts the turn holding more. So not a bad choice for him necessarily, not too worried about losing an objective.
Yeah, exactly. It's tough. This is one of the ones where you want to go in and hit things first, but not having too much movement is always an issue, right? Because his once is going to get burnt. There's a few ways to look at it, but there are 9 trogs in that loom boss still. So, and one beautiful thing about a garrison, similar to the Realm Shaper, I just know from experience, is that there's a lot of models on one of those points that he wants. Yep. And people often look and don't realize, because they're in the garrison, that is a lot more models on those points than you think.
Another consideration too, and it always depends on the matchups and the units involved, but there is something to be said for bringing the fight to your opponent's territory, fighting on their objectives rather than your own.
Yep.
Keeping your opponent pinned in. Obviously, when we had the Ontario Masters coverage, we saw Mitch, deploying that strategy in 2 games, and had a bit of success. So you can pin your opponent and keep the fight in their territory, and they can't necessarily threaten your objectives, and be a strong play to make.
Yeah, it definitely can. That's where teleporting is amazing.
Yes, very true. And so we are Anthony's turn. He's gone for monstrous takeover with the dragons, already controlling an objective there. Does mean they're going to have to stay on that objective, which is an interesting decision. Because you know, not necessarily will still be able to shoot, but if they're unless he's going for a big play on that center objective right now, because you just choose the unit, not the objective. But we are into movement now, having seen a failed Mystic Shield. Actually, the moon has rocketed across the board, going to the top right corner of the table, as it tends to do. Doesn't want to stick around in the middle. And yeah.
Oh man, looks like he's rolling another Scuttle Tide here. Oh, it's so good, man. Oh, what is that? 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
5 mortals. Oh god.
So at the end of the hero phase, well, it did. Don't forget, we do have the Dardus save, so we'll see if Anthony is able to make any board saves. It did, but Scuttle Tide did deal 1 mortal wound to a Vindictor at the end of the hero phase, and now here it is 3 mortal wounds that go through after this. So he saved 2 of those with Dardus, but losing another 2 Vindictors this turn just to the Scuttle Tide. That's 4 Vindictors.
Dude, that
have just died to the Scuttle Tide. It's huge.
Yeah, that is, it's so good. And you have to do the normal move because you're charging, right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Looks like we're seeing a redeploy from those Shudas of 3 inches. Noah rolled, so just getting them, a little safer, a little further back. The Grots, again, aren't known for their bravery. Yeah, Scuttle Tide, I think, has probably arguably done the most damage in this game so far.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Trogs come out, but yeah.
Yeah. Though the Launch Strikes obviously did have that big first turn of taking down the Trog boss, so they lived fast, or live fast, die young, right?
It's one of the reasons, like, you see when you're playing some of the other armies that have just reliable unbinding. It's like, if you could, because that Scuttle Tide right there, you know what I mean? If you have any means of reliable unbinding, it's great. But I guess outside of, like, I'm so biased because I just think of the Slan, but outside of that, I guess you can keep your wizard outside of 30, cast the Scuttle Tide, and as long as you get it off, then it's going to be coming and terrorizing. So yeah, there's ways around it, but
and well, we haven't. I think the point of the meta right now is there isn't a ton of magic presence outside of Seraphon. Seraphon is obviously, like, super strong magic wise, but we're not seeing like with this Stormcast list. There's a lot of armies that are playing kind of bare bones in terms of casting, because a lot of them don't have the modifiers or bid modifiers, so don't necessarily want to be relying on your spell casting, especially when it's unreliable to begin with. But then you might be running into your Teclises or your Seraphon, who are just completely shutting you down anyways.
Yeah, and a lot of people, most people aren't playing well, not most, but not as much Lumineth as there used to be. And you're right, there's a lot of Nagash has kind of taken a bit of a hit, and some of the other magic dominants for sure have not been seen as much, with more Iron Jaws, Stormcast, even Deepkin now, right? There's not many. I guess the aspect of whatever the casting one, but
he's solid rerollable cast. So
I like him with -1 save within the D3 units. It could be spicy.
Could be interesting. But as ever, Magic, little beast.
It is.
We are into shooting phase, so we've seen the Fulminators deal 5 mortal wounds to the shooter unit. The Storm Drakes deal another 2 mortal wounds, so not a ton of damage this game so far. I think those Storm Drakes over 3 shooting phases have now only dealt 3 mortal wounds. So we know they can be super swingy, right? We've seen games where, Ridge, we've done 9 in a turn. Only 3 over 3 turns is really not what Anthony wants to see.
Oh, what are you referencing? The first time I ever used 2 dragons, and I did 8 mortal wounds to your Judicators.
It was horrible. seems like the dragons always perform well against me, but never do what you need to do. That's just how the AOS works, right?
Yeah, classic.
And start of the charge phase, it looks like we are seeing the other unit of fanatics come out of that unit of shooters. But then, like we said, kind of getting it in the way, they're gonna have fight first. So if and when Anthony chooses to charge in, he's potentially getting smacked.
This is just 101, Gitz, Noah's played this so much. This is 101 fanatic move. He's going to be able to block now this charge, and having that many Gitz that he redeployed to stay on the point. I guess he has the Trogs in the garrison as well, so there's just so many models on there. But yeah, it looks like you can go in and smash stuff, but then it's like, oh nope, never mind, tricked you. Here you go, come into me.
So we'll see. Not surprising that the Gitz are sneaky and laying traps as ever. It's like Skaven, right?
Yeah, I don't know what that fulminator charge is either, but
looks like we just missed the Stormdrake movement. But yeah, interesting. Again, with monstrous takeover there, if he does charge those Stormdrake in, he has to know that he's going to be able to take that objective, right?
He might. Honestly, it's 3-inch. If he gets half-inch of the fanatic, that base might be big enough to be 3-inch coherency to the other base, and then tail just that little bit at the end, and then attack, kill the fanatics with the dragon, and then pile the other guys in if they're still alive.
You're not wrong. That would be a heads-up play of tagging, like you said, stringing out the dragons, tagging one on the objective, still getting one in, allowing it to also do its monstrous action. You get a stomp for 2-3 mortal wounds. That's half the unit of fanatics.
Yeah, and honestly, I've played just when playing the dragons, I often, not like I forget about that 3-inch coherency, but you don't often maximize it when in certain situations it can actually be pretty huge.
We've seen the Vindictors charge in first into the fanatics.
Mm-hmm. So he must have failed the fulminators.
He might have. Obviously, not what you want to see.
No, those are the boys there. So much damage.
Sounds like actually a good shout out by Noah in the chat. The fanatics are actually in Hunters of the Heartland, so they can't be stomped. So our super smart heads up play definitely won't work.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, could have been cool. Noah, could have been cool.
Yeah, they are wildly easy to stomp off for sure.
The shooters did just go for an Unleash Hell, and looks like after ward saves, deal 1 damage.
The Vindictors did Unleash Hell.
Yeah, and dealt 1 damage.
I feel like he's just doing that for lulz. He's just... They don't hit well to begin with. No.
Say we are still in the charge phase, so charging in, attempting to charge with the Vindictors on the left side, waiting to those Trogs down there. It's a big unit of 10. That one is still a full unit of 10 because there's no Startle Tide harassing it.
Yeah. They can do some work for sure still.
Yep, obviously, especially in this build, Hallowed Knights, not only do the Vindictors always deal mortal wounds on 6s to hit, but in Hallowed Knights, when they die, they also have a 4-up chance to fight, which is just, again, another opportunity to dish out some mortal wounds and damage. They are Rend 1. And then also Blazing Glory, where they can do some mortal wounds potentially when they die on 6s, which is, again, just like the Vindictors, like, they're not going to slap, but they just have, especially in this build, a few different ways to chip down the opponent's units.
Yeah, and a 3-up save, so, they're definitely a good choice for battle line. But I don't know. Like we were saying, I'm not sure if he just doesn't have the models to put the 4 Fulminators or 4 Dragons and do the min battle line, or if he just wanted to play with more Vindictors. I'm not sure.
Obviously, Stormcast is very elite, so it does give him more more feet on the ground, more bodies on the table to help hold objectives.
Yep.
One thing.
He clearly made the charge with the big unit.
Yep.
And the other one, the Fanatics.
And yeah, it looks like we are starting the combat phase with the Fanatics fighting first. And we'll see what they're able to do to the Vindictors. Yeah. This is, again, the little tech and synergies in Gloomspite being super interesting. And not an army we're seeing much, so awesome to see it in play here. I think they're D3 damage each on those, the Fanatics at 2 rend. That's pretty solid attacks.
Yeah, man, they do some crazy damage, and like we said earlier with the Marsh Crawler, like that's why you don't want to fight Gloomspite near its own Loon Shrine.
Yep.
They're all +1 to hit. Like
yeah, we did see a big roll. There was about like 6 or 7 attacks go through that we just rolled the D3s on, and 5 of them were 1 damage. So not the best on the D3 rolls, but we'll see how many. Sounds like 5 actually are going to be going down. Sorry, 5 damage done to the Vindictors after the Dardis ward save. So it looks like Dardis helping that unit survive a little bit, making a good amount of wards. So then, because 1 was wounded, that's 3 more Vindictors. That unit is already, on its last legs before it even gets a chance to attack.
Yeah. Oh, here's Anthony in the chat. Sadly, I lack the models. Yeah. So why you see the Vindictors, like you said at the beginning, I think, is with the starter box. You get so many of them. The Vindictors are great units for sure still, but
yeah, definitely a solid unit. Especially so Anthony is playing Scions of the Storm. I know there's a big advantage there with being able to do the deep strike, keeping it safe, all that stuff. But we have seen a lot of builds, in the Stormkeep, when the Stormkeep route, where they have some extra tricks, like opponents charge them, they can deal mortal wounds when they receive a charge and things like that. So there are some still some great builds out there that can utilize a few more of the foot troops.
Yeah, and just Call to Glory as well. Like I don't know. You think of a lot of it, and it's like it definitely can do some work, and just Vindictor, like tons of Vindictors as well. It could be good, but it's just like there's so many other good options in Stormcast. It's just insane. It's just that's why you don't usually see that type of stuff.
Yeah, they're not lacking for strong options. That's for sure.
No, not at all.
We did see actually when the Fanatics killed those Vindictors, they took 1 mortal wound in return from Blazing Glory. So again, talking about that chip damage coming through, not the biggest deal there. But
no, it never matters. Like it's always, even when playing with you, it's like when you remember it, it's like maybe a couple mortals here, which for sure it can be big, but not usually huge.
No, not usually huge, but in something like, again, when you compound that with like a Stormkeep build, it can get more and more interesting.
I agree, and actually, I'm just thinking too against a lot of things that have high armor save. So against another Stormcast, or like what I mean, things that don't want mortal wounds.
Yep. I mean,
it can be good.
I've been playing a lot of Deepkin recently. They do not like a mortal wound, for sure.
No, they do not.
R.I.P.
They don't like dinos either.
Yes. Yep, that's for sure. Anything faster than them, Deepkin do not like.
Yeah. Dragons.
Yeah. Yeah. Fast, high armor saves, mortal wounds, all bad for Deepkin.
Yeah.
But we are looks like that Vindictor unit Anthony did pile in and is attacking on the left side into the Troggoths. He has gone for all-out attack. Troggoths are using all-out defense, so see how much work that unit of Victors is able to do.
Yeah, man. 5 board save is just so nice.
Yep.
And yeah, being able to use all defense, it's tough. Like unless you're a huge hammer that can do a lot of damage. Yeah, I love the Rockot Troggoths. They're just so
5
so
wounds
nice.
each too, so that's some thick bodies to chew through. Are you 10 mortal wounds to take 2 of them down, or 10 damage? They count for 2 bodies on objectives is other strength for them.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be tough. And now he has all of the garrison ones as well.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll see.
Lots still alive on both sides though. I mean, we've lost the launch strikes fairly early for Stormcast, which hurt a lot because that was a big, part of the range projection for Stormcast. But they still do have the 2 dragons, the 2 fulminators. Unfortunately, though, neither of them made it into combat this turn.
No. Yeah, exactly. And Noah's correcting you again, Jordan. They're not 5 wounds, they're 4 wounds.
I don't know. I looked at it today. I literally looked at their profile today. Thought it was 5.
I remember that because thinking, that's one reason. If they were 5, that would be insanely good. But
well, they suck then. Forget everything I say. Troggoths are horrible. Noah has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah, still 24 wounds with a 5 board after it's, and they hit still really hard.
Yeah, they do hit really hard. That's for sure.
I do remember that though. Yeah, that is the flaw because it's like in this game, things that are 4 wound is just like a kick in the dick. Like,
oh yes,
why?
Trust me, I do have 28 plus yields, cavalry from Deepkin that count as 1 model. It's not great.
Those things, yeah, but they're
200
fat.
points for the unit.
All right, yeah, fair. We don't need to go down the path of the eels. You had your time, and it was a year or 2 ago.
It's true. We enjoyed the glory days while they lasted. And so, all right, we did see 1 Troggoth go down, 6 damage in total from the Vindictors into that unit. So only 1.5 of those Trogs dead. So they'll be slapping back here pretty soon. What do you think? I'm a little scared for the Vindictors over there.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt. Now he did use all defense, so it's gonna hurt a little bit less because he can't use all attack on them now. But never mind. Hey, guess what? He's got that sweet Cruel Boys model that gives him +1 to hit, wholly with an 18. So they are going to still do some hurt. Yeah.
Looks like, yeah, so Noah attacked with the shooters, dealt no damage, just piling in, getting those nets in range. And then the Vindictors actually finish off that unit of Fanatics, so that's something.
Yeah, but like we said, just being able to just block that charge now and now not being able to kill the Grots is big. And just unfortunate, the Dragons and the Fulminators just sitting outside here just waiting, and now, with being at the bottom, the bottom of the turn coming up, it's like
top of the round right now, so we will going into Gloomspite turn next, and
those are some juicy targets for 9 Trogs coming out of a garrison.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Obviously, yeah, we're in combat right now still with the Troggoths just dealing 15 damage to those Vindictors over there. That hurts.
Sounds about right.
So there's 20 wounds in that unit, so just took out 3/4 of it. That's painful.
Yep.
And noteworthy too here, with the CP usage that we've seen, he has no command points left.
Oh, that's really gonna hurt.
And
both of those units.
Yeah. So looks like we lost 7 Vindictors from that unit. They're 7 bravery, maybe +1 from the banner. So a high battle shock roll, and that unit's going to be walking off the table.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Fingers crossed.
Who had the triumph in this one?
Let's look real quick.
I think it was actually Noah because I think Anthony's was really close, like 1995 or something.
Yep, and Noah was 1985. Noah has
he took the
Indomitable.
battle. Yeah, I was gonna say the battle shock one. Yeah.
And so yeah, Stormcast not even having the triumph to rely upon here. We'll see. Happens here in a moment, I'm sure, in battle shock. Yeah. Oh, also, actually, Anthony's definitely going to be rolling the Fight on Death from Hallowed Knights, as well as the Mortal Wounds from Blazing Glory. So we might see
Fight on Death, yeah.
Some more damage to the Chardoths.
You should definitely be able to kill at least one more with that and the Mortals, maybe two.
All right, I'm only answering a question because it was asked in the chat, not because I am obsessed with Deepkin. But Lord Billy, I don't think, there's a lot of talk about how strong Storm or they're going to be. I think they have some amazing allegiance abilities, solid war scrolls, but I think the some downsides that people just don't that don't play the army haven't really been seen yet, or with the army in general. Obviously, we followed out of 2.0. This new book is really, I think a lateral step, if anything. So hopefully we'll see the book. There's a lot of internal balance, which is amazing, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see exactly how dominant or how much of a presence Deepkin has in the future.
Jordan's just been getting stomped with the fish boys lately, so I think he's just being.
Well,
I'm just joking.
No, it's true. It's true. Actually, a good thing to talk about as well. So it looks like actually the Vindictors dealt 3 damage, taking down another Troggoth with their Fight on Death, but no damage from Blazing Glory. So 2 Trogs going down over there.
Nice.
Yeah. I had previously didn't play a ton of Deepkin in 3.0. On the channel, we had a few battle reports against some other mid-tier armies where they did all right, but I've been testing them a ton with the new book against the top armies in the meta, and it's definitely been dicey.
Yeah, they have the movement is still such a great benefit that they have, and I think just picking certain battles and being able, they're very priority dependent. Well, not every army is, but if you can win certain priorities and really utilize their movement well with all of the different command traits and allegiance abilities, yeah, it can be very good. But
I would say they are no longer the fastest fish in the sea, though, with stuff like the dragons, the 36-inch move maw crushers.
Iron Jaws, yeah, oh, for sure.
Lots out there that can faster. Deepkin, again, can't afford to take it, so you gotta choose those matchups. But we did just see those Vindictors on the left lead a battle shock. And oh no, the unit in the middle also losing the last 3 guys to battle shock. That was just six more Vindictors running away. Both those 2 units of 10 completely gone now. That's bad news bears for Anthony.
Yes, big time. What's up? Olivier in the chat agreeing Deepkin will not be the boogeyman they used to be. Yeah. Another fish elf player.
Oh yeah. Do you want to say a big thank you to Lord Billy for the super chat? Another great way to support the channel, so thank you so much. Asking us when we're going to give Cass a real challenge. She's definitely been stomping. I will say though, Carl did take her down in a battle report. I think it was with his Kragnos and Iron Jaws. Well, when Cass played, was it
Bone Reapers?
Yeah, Bone Reapers for the first time. So very close game.
It was a close game too. Yeah.
So we definitely have to give Cass some more challenges. I threw Teclis Lumineth at her, and she had no problem with that. Definitely another good battle report to check out. That was the first time she got to play Daughters of Cain. That was super exciting, but I definitely need to get my revenge, because between the Sylvaneth matchups, now stomping Teclis, I have not had a good showing against my own wife, so I'll get my revenge.
Yeah, she gave me a good shit kicking too. The only time I played her, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel bad. You don't want to just go in and well, it pretty much always comes to the premium members, so they tend to like to see us struggle. So it makes sense when that type of stuff happens.
Yep. So here we are into Gloomspite turn 3. Savage Spearhead is the battle tactic that Noah's chosen. Noteworthy thing, while Anthony just lost a bunch of Vindictors, took the top of the round, he's up 14-6 right now. That's a pretty huge lead. Now Noah's gonna have to turn that around this turn, which isn't impossible, but he's still got 2 dragons, 2 fulminators, and he still has some models here, right? Yeah, he's up a decent chunk here, but yeah, we'll see. There's still, like we've said, there are still 9 trogs in that Loon Shrine, and the Grots in the top right. Yeah, so even if we see those Trogoths on the left side of the table, I'd guess, with Savage Spearhead being chosen as a battle tactic, they're probably pushing towards the top of the objective. If a failed charge or something, it'd be big. Also, going to the bottom of the round, I think this turn, Noah really needs a big turn of scoring to bring it back, and then priority is going to be big. Yeah,
well, he's already guaranteed. He's already guaranteed more because he's already got he's keeping his bottom 2, and then he's going to get the top right.
Yeah, just walking on there with the shooters.
Yeah, so he's going to get his battle. I think he'll probably just play this cool, try to kill stuff, and I know, like someone said in the chat earlier, just let's see those 9 trogs come out of this garrison.
Yes, we've been waiting for it.
It's fucking insane that you can just put that many models inside of a garrison and just pop out. Yeah. Or when that garrison gets, say, charged, it's like, okay, now I'm attacking with every single one of these trogs that's in this garrison with +1 to hit, and you're dead essentially.
And end of the hero phase, we're seeing Scuttle Tide go off. No mortal wounds here though this time. Balancing out from a few strong rolls earlier. And we did see Hand of Dork failed from the Fundoid, so no teleport here. Did get a Mystic Shield on the Trogoths though. He was a bit of 9. So they're not only going to be ready to pop out soon, but specifically shielded as well. And we did see on the left side, Vindictors redeploy, moving 3 inches. So from a 3-inch charge to a 6-inch charge for those trolls, he feels that. If he feels that charge, he doesn't even look like he's over the edge of the board or the half.
Yeah,
he needs that charge.
That could be trouble. He could have rolled, and he could roll the 4, 5, 6, something like like that's
So, good choice for the redeploy there. Big chance to potentially deny a battle tactic. So,
yeah, Cameron, the moon's up in the top right, I believe.
Yes, that's correct. Those little things, redeploy is obviously kind of sketchy. Great to use it in a moment like that where it has the potential to impact a turn so much, especially when Anthony's a little bit on the back foot on the tabletop, but way up in score right now.
Yeah.
And gotta give a shout out to Anthony, one of the players in our match tonight, for just joining the premium team as well. So thank you so much for the support, Anthony. As always, means a ton. This allows us to do more fun content like this and to do more event coverage in the future. I don't know about you, Ridge. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Great to be able to do the live commentary at least, and more interactive with the chat and all that. So
yeah, man, it's cool. It's cool just hanging out. I'm crushing a nice porter here, just watching a game and chatting and hanging out with people. It's cool. Yeah. I can't wait to have a beer with you and see you, Anthony. It's been a while. Yep. But no, it's fun for sure. It's great seeing cool coverage from like big tournaments too. So I know like we plan to go when we go to Grand Clash, when we go to these big events, we want to try to get them on camera and be able to do this so people can see these events, because I feel like we haven't seen a lot of the coverage like we used to. Like 2019 was golden days of watching like Honest Wargamer coverage of like, say like LVO or like those things like that. Like it'd just be amazing to start to get to see some live coverage again.
100%. Obviously, we pre-record these games at the event and then stream them with live commentary later on. I know we're talking about looking at doing some true live coverage as well. Downside is though, we just all want to play in the events, so hard to take a step back, to do the coverage. But obviously, a lot of to do the live streams, it takes a team of 3 or 4 as well. So a lot of work to make that possible. Where it's a little easier, it lets us gives us some other tools and advantages in this kind of pre-recorded format.
Yeah, it's definitely fun, and hopefully we can get to some live stuff as well. But like you said, yeah, we want to play.
So it's gotta be some big incentives to make us, take a tournament off. Big charge, rolling a 6, exactly what he would have needed for those trogs on the left side. So sad for Anthony a little bit, where denying that battle tactic could have been huge here.
Oh, did he roll exactly a 6 too?
Yeah, you see the 2.
Dirty. Nice.
Doing the yellow dice over there, so yeah, that's unfortunate. Whoa, here, sportsmanship moment. So gotta give a shout out to Anthony, and obviously for anyone at events. So a little slip of forgetting to move his shooters onto that objective in the top right, but as an obvious play, big shouts to Anthony for being a great sport and how we know it that movement.
Yeah, that's something that they probably talked about too. Like, how we play too with intent. Like, you were going to do that. So obviously that's something small but for sure, it's always good to, it's not, we're not talking, also not talking LVO table 1, game 5, that things change a little bit when you get into those scenarios, but.
To be fair, Noah showed up with Gloomspite Gitz, so I think he's just here for a good time anyways.
And he's just a fucking beautiful human, so definitely, one of the guys you like to play in these type of events.
For sure. Big shout out to all the USA and other American crew that came up for the event, traveled north of the wall into Whitewater territory, join us in our cold, frigid landscape. Super OS action.
Big GOT reference, all right.
yeah, I watched the first 2 seasons, so I can make that reference, right?
No, you're actually not allowed at all, because how dare you?
All good. I'll finish it. You know what? I'm like hipster, where I don't like watching things when there's all the hype. You know what I mean? I can't keep up with stuff as it's coming out, so I have to watch shows later. Again, Lord Billy, you're so kind. Another super chat. Thank you so much. Glad you're enjoying all the content. Any more analysis videos coming soon? Nothing immediately planned. I do hope to do some casual member streams. I do want to talk about Deepkin at some point, though I think I don't want to do a pre-recorded video, so I just want to jump on live sometime, maybe do a hobby stream, talk about Deepkin. Just get my jumble of thoughts out there, but yeah, who knows? Hopefully doing that in the next. Still trying to explore that book.
Yep, you'll be there for a while.
Yes, it's definitely a puzzle I have not cracked yet. Noah, thank you also for the super chat. You are super appreciated, although you did not send us a message, so just awkward silence is what we'll take from that super chat.
Love that. The trogs are out in full force.
Yes.
All 9 of them.
Yeah. And we did see those 9 Troglodytes obviously make that charge into the Storm Drakes. Noteworthy, we did in the hero phase see Itchy Nuisance cast on those Storm Drakes. Oh, no, sorry. I am incorrect. Itchy Nuisance was not cast, but we did see the Madcap using his Moonface Mamet on the Storm Drakes, making them -1 to save, in conjunction with the Ren 2 from the Troglodytes, basically Ren 3 on those dragons.
just fucking nuts. Excuse my French, but yeah, the -1 save, so good on that.
And 12 damage coming out on those dragons, so that's not too bad. One dragon goes down, but the other one still survives. Did see the Storm Drakes did use all our defense, so only going from a 3 to a 5 armor save.
Yeah, now I wonder, he doesn't have any CP anyways. I was thinking, because I know popping out of the garrison, that's one of the greatest things, just for anyone watching. If you're popping out of a garrison, it actually doesn't count as a normal move. So it is set up, so you can get around redeploy by popping out of the garrison and then being able to charge. So I can't remember, I didn't see if he did move the grots and was able to possibly do that, but that just for people kind of watching, I know. One of the kind of learning moments that when I found that out, I was very happy.
Also noteworthy that it is within 6, not wholly within 6. So something like the Trog bases gives you an extra like 2 inches of movement for your charge.
Yeah, each model within 6, exactly. So that base it's probably almost 2 inches, yeah? Oh, no,
it's over an inch and a half, so that's 2 inches shorter to charge.
Yeah.
I want to say a big thank you also to Michael Sabetti for another super chat. Thank you. It's a question for Rich here. He recently bought Seraphon, asking what the best direction to go right now with his list.
Oh, do you want to hear my answer, or do you want to hear what everyone plays in the meta right now answer?
I think they're the same thing. If you ask, are they not right now?
No, I'm a big fan of the Starborn faction, so I love Fang still and Draco's Tail. You see a lot of people wanting to play the dinos, which is the fun. Everyone wants to play Seraphon to play the Thunder Lizards or even Coatls Claw, but mainly Thunder Lizards with some Stagadons and the Engine of the Gods, and they're very fun and very strong in the meta, just having the -1 damage. But honestly, man, I think it's whatever you want to play. Like I'm still playing a lot of Fangs. Croak is as you see on a lot of coverage now. Croak's actually been back. He's been 5 or 10 guard with him. He's still a really good piece to use. The Slan's amazing. The book is just so good all around. So kind of whatever you want to play, but you'll have a lot of fun with everything. Just so much synergy. I could talk for 2 hours about it. So
yes, it's a great book. Very strong. Almost everything has its place. Let's see the hunt supplement that came out, adding a couple extra victory points for killing some units. I think the biggest unit that might have been hit in the whole thing that might be impacted the most is salamanders, though.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. A 2-pack. You think of something like Dracothian's Tail running 6 salamanders, potentially 6 extra VP, which is huge swing. And unlike things like the Stormdrake Guard, the salamanders will go down, and they are pretty easy to take out if you have the tools to deal with them.
Oh, especially in the list that I was playing too, like my Du Bois list. The 6 Sallies for sure. They got hit hard, but the book is so good that you can so easily pivot to, any other units, more skinks, another Basilodon, stags, using the engine, all the best allies. Like there's just so many things you can do. So yeah, I know it sucks. Even a 2-pack of Sally's still really good in Coalesced, or even in in anything. It's 2 points, but as you see on most chats, it's not going to ruin your game, because you're hopefully going to be tabling or killing your opponent before those points are going to matter. But I think salamanders could be one of the ones with all of them that suffer a little bit from the hunt. But
and Michael did come up with a follow-up super chat, basically asking specifically what he can play that will make Lionel cry. Lionel, a good buddy of ours and the owner of X Planet, notoriously hates Seraphon.
It was Michael from Misaga, like X Planet, obviously, from that super chat. So if you want to make Lionel cry, yes, Seraphon. Lionel will always cry about Seraphon. He does every time I see him.
What does he hate most? Stinks doing parting shot.
Everything about it. I recently played as Nurgle, and my Bastiladon was just ripping shreds to all of his models because they're all Chaos Demons. So yeah, I'm just joking. Lionel's amazing. Lionel's awesome. He's a good buddy of ours, but he hates Seraphon because, as everyone knows, Seraphon is just so good and versatile to anything they need to play against. So it's the best book that's ever been written in Age of Sigmar, and I will always stand by that. So
it stood the test of time since the new book came out, for sure. And the new edition. So let's just filling back in on this game. We've seen the Vindictors in the top left did kill a Troggoth, and 3 of them went down themselves. The Stormdrake Guard just dealt 7 damage to the Troggoths down in the right corner. So a couple, or 1 or 2, damage might have been dealt. Yes, 1 damage was dealt from Blazing Glory, so we did see 2 Troggoths from that unit of 9 go down at this turn. So yeah, some big plays though. Obviously, again, I was kind of hoping for Anthony's sake that we were to see a failed charge with those Troggoths on the left side. Another 9 battle tactic would have been a little funny. It's a big turn, and this is what we said Noah was going to need. He did store a big 6 points this round. Hold 1, hold 2, hold more. His battle tactic, putting him at 5, and then killing the 1 dragon, the 6th point. Super noteworthy. Actually, we just saw priority rolled for round 4, with Noah rolling a 6 to Anthony's 5. So that's a big one. With obviously, I'm sure Noah's going to take the turn here. Yeah, it's huge.
Not having models either way. The Fulminators, I guess, could come back and get some points here, but
what I was about to say though, no, it's actually not a bad thing that other dragon survived, because it means he's getting another bonus point, right? So 6 points was huge for that last turn, and now I think Noah's gonna have another big turn of scoring here.
Big time, and he also just did write a super chat with some words in it now.
Okay, yes.
When's the Jordan bench pressing other Season of War members stream?
Well, we'll see. To be fair, I think we'll have to see the Cassidy video doing that first. Cassidy is a former competitive bodybuilder, so she's the more fit one in the family. So
she is jacked.
So we'll have to get that. Conveniently enough, the filming table is right beside our workout bench and weights, so who knows? I'm pretty
sure I can bench press our team. Carl, Zach, Oliver. Yeah, I don't think you'll have a problem with that.
See, might have to be a premium exclusive content for you guys there. That's why you sign up. Stuff like that for sure. But no, obviously, so big turn from Noah. We said it at the beginning of his round 3. Needed a big turn of scoring to start catching up. Now that priority has gone his way also, it's really gone from like a tenuous lead, tenuous points lead for Stormcast, now looking really bad for the Sigmar's finest.
Just the positioning as well with everything here. Not much. If with that priority, that's kind of what I think about. Like with that priority, if you could get those Fulminators, get the Dragon out. Yeah, either way, there's just the amount of models that has happened here. Yeah, man, those 9 Trogs coming out of the shrine it's badass.
Yep. Danger close for Anthony when he brought those dragons down. They smacked, took 1 down, lost 2 Trogs in return, but that's only 2 of 9, right? The dragons, 1 dragon was already dead. They're not insane output. This turn, actually, it looks like the Madcap did successfully cast Itchy Nuisance on the Stormdrake. So he did get it off this turn, making that dragon fight last. Trying to let him, Noah activate elsewhere if he wants to, that top left. Do kill, let him fight first in both combats, right? So big. We're not seeing as many fight first, fight last mechanics in the game, but the armies that still have them, it can be super impactful.
Yeah, other than the crazy OP Beast of Chaos now, they have like a million ways to make you fight last.
I mean, still see armies like Blades of Corn have a bunch of tricks like that with like they'll fight first in different sub factions. They did the 6-inch pile in with the Bloodthirster, Insensate Rate, or Unfettered Fury. So a bunch of different tricks. I mean, Sylvaneth Tree Lords still have their stomp.
Oh yeah, big stomp.
Oh yeah, exactly. We know how reliable that is, right?
Yeah, I say crazy OP Beast of Chaos, and I don't think people will think I'm saying that like to be truthful. Like I think they're definitely gonna a lot better and they have some good results. Like
We've
they're
seen a couple
definitely
event wins.
Yeah, man, they're good.
GTs.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna be good. Like hearing some of the just guys in Tough Crowd and like talking and hearing some of the chats about Beast of Chaos, like for sure, they're definitely gonna be good.
We are in the combat phase right now. We did see the unit of Troddles on the top left activate first, pairing those Vindictors again with Chi Nuisance on that dragon. He can safely activate elsewhere and not have to worry about getting hit back or hit by that dragon. Though it did go for bring it down here, so obviously it does want to take that dragon down. And it's going to be a big turn of scoring here. Winning priority was made for kind of turning the game around on the scoreboard at least.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Yeah, in these situations, it's like if you can just kill enough of your opponent's models, which is the point of the game, even if he lost priority here, he's done so much damage to everything else. It just kind of just makes the game go longer and longer. Would be for a closer game as well. So in this situation, I know it's battle tactics and grand strategies are very important. So that's where it will kind of matter, right? That he won this priority, he'll deny a bit more of the tactics and grand strategy.
And also at this event, they're very impactful because it's not victory points that are determining the ranks or placings within each rank, but it is kind of a battle point system which Josh uses that was co-opted from Du Bois GT. Which I've really been enjoying it. I think it balances out armies that are better or worse at scoring a lot. And you do get a battle point per battle tactic that you complete, and then 5 for your grand strategy. So every battle tactic upped, it's gonna change your final placings, right? Matchup. So Noah already not getting max points in this win, as he did drop a battle tactic.
Yeah. It's I don't know how if I like this format for sure. We don't play much differential over here, to be honest, and I know they do that a lot in Europe and in England.
I think it's
and
good.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say I think it's good for team formats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily love what it incentivizes goals. We have played a couple events in the past in AOS 2 that were a little bit more like that. It really does incentivize you kind of stepping your opponent's throat at the end of a game, even if you're doing really well, which doesn't necessarily encourage the best experience.
No, but in a competitive environment,
sure. But
if you're on the other end of that, you kind of know that that's going to come. But I know what you mean. But I do like the way that this came out, specifically when Gargants were just smashing everyone and it was hard to take them out. It really made it so they couldn't just crush you in battle points and then the differential was, way more in their favor, only because they could score more points than you because they're a monster, and every single battle tactic they do, they get 1 billion points for. So that's what I really did like about it when we went down to Rochester at Du Bois last year.
And okay, we have finished Gloomspite. Noah scoring a big 7 points actually. Hold 1, hold 2, hold more. Monster kill, battle tactic, and burning one of Anthony's objectives. Must be that top right one for a 7th point. So sounds like players are just wrapping things up here, talking through the final battle tactics. Anthony going for broken ranks at the bottom of out of round 4. Looks like going to be none left after winning priority for 25. working out the final details. No battle tactic left in round 5 for the Stormcast. Gloomspite getting their last one with aggressive expansion. That might be an incorrect one. Turned one. Maybe that was from round 4. But the Stormcast failing their advanced strategy as well. They had hold the line, obviously no battle line left. Saw thanks to the Startled Tide, a ton of Vindictors go down and then run away. Gloomspite getting their battle tactics or grand strategy. So that's going to be a big 28-17 victory for Noah and the Gloomspite Gitz here. Probably not, again, not necessarily the most optimized Stormcast list, as Anthony is building out his collection, but they'd win here, with some of the tricks of Gloomspite being super effective.
Yeah, I think it's just super cool to be able to see a player like Noah's to play like a list like Gloomspite and have all of these just awesome tricks, because these are ones that you will see if you're playing Gloomspite, and it's just awesome to be able to come to an event and do these types of things, like teleport the Grots and pop out the Fanatics, blah blah, all that fun stuff.
But we will wrap things up here, guys, so thank you so much for joining us tonight. Hope you enjoyed this match. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff really means a ton. Thank you so much for your support. See all you beautiful humans in another battle report. Good night.
Have a good night, everyone.